just started reading 49 Miles Alone. This is book 1 that I'm going to read for SUMMERWEEN. It's very fast paced, just like all of Natalie D. Richards' books, but I'm flying through this. This is one of those books that you could easily finish in one sitting. It's kind of late, so I'm not going to give too much of an update. I think in the morning I'll explain more about the plot of this book, but for now I'm going to keep reading and we'll see how far I get tonight. So it is the next day, and I did in fact finish 49 Miles Alone last night. I wanted to film clips of me reading this book, but you know, it's just one of those page turners that you kind of have to finish in one sitting, unfortunately. But let me go ahead and update you on what this book is even about, because I haven't done that yet. This book is following our main character and her cousin. It does a dual POV, so you switch back and forth between the two girls. A year ago, something happened to one of them that kind of broke something in their friendship with each other. One thing about them is they like to go on these really intense hikes together, like meaning there's no service. It's like a days of hiking out in the country where there is no one, super isolated. And they decide to go on a trip 1 year after this really serious thing happens to kind of like mend what broke between them while they're on this hike. Basically anything that could go wrong goes wrong. We have an injury, we have a sickness, we have a storm, everything that you could think of happens to these two girls. While they're on this hike, they run into these two other hikers and they offer to share their fire with them and to camp with them for a night. And so they take them up on it. That night when they are in bed, they hear yelling and screaming. This couple is fighting and they end up running off into the darkness, leaving their campsite and them completely alone. I will say that there were some chapters that felt almost repetitive in a way. You are dealing with some PTSD, some trauma with one of them, one of their POVs. So they're kind of reliving what happened to them a year ago a lot in their chapters. So that was a little repetitive. Her writing style is very binge worthy. I'm going to give it a 3.5 just because it wasn't like anything groundbreaking. It was definitely predictable. I predicted the ending, but it was still fun. Overall, I enjoyed my time while reading it. So 3.5 stars. I think that's pretty decent for the first book of this reading vlog. And that brings us to the next book that I'm going to be starting. And I kind of want something that's a little spookier. So I think I'm going to pick up We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer. This is the author of The Caretaker, which I read that a couple of months ago. And I had a lot of mixed feelings on it. I think overall I enjoyed that book, but there was definitely some stuff that happened that I was like, oh, this is like a scary movie when you're watching your characters and you're just yelling at the TV. I will say though, I've seen a lot of really good reviews on this one, so I'm excited to read this. This is following a young couple who flips houses for a living. One day while they're working on the house, this family shows up, knocks on the door, and asks if they can come in because they used to live there. This couple, they are people pleasers and they allow them inside their house, and things quickly spin out of control. I think this one's gonna be a lot creepier than the last book I read, and also just like the thought of people coming into my house, like a home invasion or anything like paranormal happening in a house, it all feels a lot more realistic and like spooky to me. I am very curious what my thoughts are going to be on this one, but I will try to give more updates while reading this one compared to the last book, since this is a reading vlog. Update time. So I think the last thing I said was I am reading We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer. I'm currently on page 50. So far so good, enjoying the book as a whole. It starts off like right away on the first page, this family knocking on the door. So like it jumped right into the action, which I really, really like. A lot of people would be like, why did you say yes? Like, why did you allow this family to come in? But I understand with the way that the conversation went down, it's kind of like, what's the harm? It's this couple and their 3 kids. And the dad's like, we're on a road trip and we were passing through and I just wanted to show my kids my childhood home where I grew up. And he even is like, it's not a big deal. I understand if this is a weird request and you don't want us coming in, totally get it. But right now her partner is out running an errand and like not home. So she's by herself. And that's what gets me. Like if I'm home alone, I don't think I would be able to say yes. I might be like, hey, can we schedule a time when my partner's here? Like I would feel more comfortable. So I understand in a way, like why she let them in, but also at the same time, I'm like, use a little bit more common sense. Because they're kind of like out in the middle of the woods. They just did like a tour of the house. The dad's walking around talking about this and that like this used to be like this was this was my room, that was so-and-so's room. Meanwhile, like our main character, they're in the middle of like demoing this house. So a lot of things are in pieces. There's just like eerie vibes with things. What is on my hand? I just got it all over my book too. What is that? I have like black ink. I'm so confused. Oh my gosh, my soda has like black stuff all over it. What? I don't even know what I was saying.
they end up coming downstairs and they're wanting to go down in the basement, but that's kind of where our main character kind of puts their foot down, because they're like, there's tools out, the electricity isn't working down there, like I really don't want to get sued, basically. And they're like, oh, totally get it, it's fine. As they're getting ready to leave, the daughter of this couple goes missing, and so they're walking around the house trying to find her. Well, there was a dumbwaiter that was hidden upstairs that she took to go down to the basement. It's just really creepy. There's a lot of weird stuff downstairs, there's a lot of nooks and crannies, and it's just that feeling you get of like claustrophobia, of like being in a dark basement. You feel like there's something there or something watching you. Now they're trying to wait for this little girl to come upstairs because she's hiding and won't come out. That's all I've read so far. One thing that I have found that's very interesting is in between chapters, there will be like different correspondence from different stuff. I don't know exactly what it is. And then down in the corner, there is Morse code. So me being the nosy person that I am, I Googled the Morse code alphabet. And so now I am keeping track of all the Morse code messages in my notes app on my phone while I'm reading. The vibes that are happening in this house, definitely creepy. So I'm very curious what's gonna happen next with this family, because clearly they need to get out. Like there's something going on here. And then I did start listening to a new audiobook. This is one that I have been really excited to listen to, and that is The Death Row Club by V.A. Vasquez. I've listened to a couple of chapters already. I'm liking it a lot. I think there's like 2 or 3 narrators for this audiobook. So far it's only been one. Our main character, she is the daughter of a serial killer. All of the children of different famous serial killers are invited to this property to have like this weekend getaway. I don't know if you could even call it a getaway, but they're all invited to this property, and while they're there, one of the children ends up murdered. So then everyone's kind of questioning each other, like, which one of you did it? Is it someone else? Is it someone here who's taking after their parent? Very excited to get further into this one. I'm gonna keep listening to it tonight. I will give more updates when I get further into this one. For now, these are the 2 books we are working on. I'm planning on going over to see my niece tonight, so I think on my drive I'll continue listening to this one, and then when I get there I might read a little bit. SUMMERWEEN is in full swing here. It is raining, as you can probably tell from the background, but I wanted to give a quick update where I'm at with my book. So you guys saw last night I started Drowning by TJ Newman. It is following a flight that ends up crash landing in the Pacific Ocean. After they crash, one of the engines blows and then the plane traps 12 people and it sinks to the bottom of the ocean. This book jumps in immediately. Like first page, first line is one of the people who are on this flight watching the engine on the plane blow up. What I really love about TJ Newman's writing is it's so fast paced. It also jumps around to a lot of different POVs. So you'll get someone on the plane, you're gonna get a flight attendant, you're gonna get the captain, you're gonna get someone who's on ground control, you're gonna get a Navy SEAL diver, you know, you're gonna get friends and family of the people who are on this plane. You could just get like a fuller picture of how something this catastrophic, how it impacts so many lives. Another thing about this author is she was a flight attendant, so everything in her books is very factual, feels very realistic because she's done her research. She knows what she's talking about. I'm already over halfway. I was cranking through it last night because I could not put it down. It's truly like an action-packed movie. That's how it felt. Reading this, I felt like I was watching a movie. Also very emotional because you think of all the people whose lives are in danger, and it really digs deep into humanity and how people can come together, or also how it shows the ugly side of humanity whenever you're put in these tense situations. But I'm loving it so far. I also read her first book, Falling, a handful of years ago. Really enjoyed that one as well. I'm excited to continue reading this later. I really want to finish it it tonight just because, like I said, I'm flying through it. I have teared up a couple of times, which is kind of crazy. It takes a lot for a book to make me do that. That is our update. And then I'm also still listening to Death Row Club. I think I'm like 50% into it at this point. Also still really enjoying that. I feel like I'm at a part where it's like things are about to escalate. I'm loving Summerween. It's giving me just the right amount of thriller, spooky vibes that I've been looking for, because I have not read a horror novel or a mystery thriller in quite a while. So this feels good. It is 2 days later. You guys saw that I did in fact finish Drowning. I almost said falling, and it made me emotional, just like the first book. Drowning was so good. I cannot recommend it enough. If you want something that's just straight action and adrenaline, it was so good. The way that the story unraveled, the way it was told in so many different POVs, how one tragedy can impact so many lives was crazy. Honestly, like, TJ Newman, well done. I always know when a book is 5 stars, and this one just for some reason didn't hit that mark, but it was so close. So it is a 4.5. Highly recommend. Today the plans are to finish my audiobook for Death Row Club. I am like 60% into it at this point. It has been on the slower side, but I don't know if that's just because I haven't been listening to it every single day. I've been like listening to chunks of it at a time, like scattered throughout this week. I think right now where I'm at, it is definitely, since I'm in the second half of the book, a lot faster paced. So I'm excited to continue listening. I'm still hooked. I still want to know what is happening, because right now we have 2 different POVs. We have our main character Nicola, and then we also have a girl named Stephanie. One of the children has died, but Stephanie is missing. It's leaving me with a lot of questions. We're still getting Stephanie's POV. She has been taken by whoever, I'm assuming, killed one of the children. I am curious who it's gonna be. I'm about to leave to go pick up some breakfast and coffee, because right now I'm out of my cold brew. Then we're gonna come back home and I'm gonna bake some banana bread, because we've got lots and lots of old bananas. And my plan is to continue listening and most likely finishing the audiobook while I'm baking the banana bread. Finished the banana bread, and I also finished listening to the Death Row Club. I have a lot of mixed feelings on the ending of this one. I will say it had a really good twist that I did not see coming. I don't know if I would have seen it coming if I had been reading it physically rather than listening to it, because sometimes it's easier to catch on to any twists and foreshadowing if you're physically reading it. Sometimes, like audio, I just don't catch certain things or details. Overall, I did enjoy this one. Before the plot twist, I was thinking this was gonna get like a 3-star rating, but after the plot twist, I'm gonna bump it up to 3.5, because I do think that the twist was done really well, and it was something different that I wasn't expecting, so I really enjoyed that. The 2 narrators for the audiobook were amazing, so definitely recommend the audiobook if you are planning on reading this. I've been craving mystery thrillers for a while because I don't typically pick them up that often, but Summerween was the perfect excuse to actually pick up some really great thrillers. That is gonna bring us to the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed following me along for Summerween. I want to maybe like next year get a little bit more festive with it. Like I want to decorate for it and like make it a whole thing. This is not my house, so I can't like decorate it for Summerween, obviously. Hopefully if I have a house by next year or summertime, then maybe I can actually go full out for this and like make it a whole thing, because I love doing that kind of stuff. We'll see. Oh, hi Murph. Hi. Right now now stores are coming out with all of their like summer Halloween stuff, and there's so much black cat decor. I'm loving it. This is prime time for me to get stuff from Milo and Murphy. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Happy reading. Bye.